iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racing enthusiasts all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. The car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and racing teams. Our skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly racing series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 200,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Participate in solo races, championship seasons, and hosted and league events with AI Racing. With a rapidly expanding catalog of 70-plus cars and 85-plus tracks from real-world racing series, test your abilities with challenging computer-based competition. Additional partners include IMSA, the World of Outlaws, and Supercars, allowing members to participate in their very own Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, Sebring 12-Hour, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Well, after an eventful round one, the tour rolls into Europe and to the iconic Nurburgring. Oh, it's sure to be a scintillating round of the UK SR Multi-Class League. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome along. I'm Tim Cox, and slightly a little bit late today. Turns out England might have needed a little bit of extra time to get the job done for a complete and utter mishap. But I'll be with you throughout the whole thing. I'm Tim Cox, as always, and we'll start things on a slightly somber note tonight. You know, sometimes in life you've met with unexpected things that happen, and it seemed the withdrawal of one of our drivers, Paul Busby, who I've had absolute pleasure of knowing Paul. He was in the very first race that I ever commentated in, and dreaded C word, cancer struck him. He decided to no longer take part throughout this series while he recovers. And for myself, everyone at UKSR, Paul, whole sim racing community, wish you all the best, mate. You know, Paul is one of the, I mean, he comes across, I mean, there's no two ways about it. He's a brash motherfucker. We know him well. He's outspoken. He's a true Essex lad, but you got a problem? The drop of a hat. Paul is there. He'll do anything for you. And what can I say about him? I mean, it's Paul. It's Paul in a nutshell. He's always there for you. And, well, Paul, we wish you all the best, mate. Absolutely all the best. I know he'll want the show to carry on. Paul, love you, man. Across into things, as always. Of course, round 2 this evening. And, well, as you can see, Nurburgring, Algarve last week, the season over. What an absolute cracker that was. If you didn't see it, head back and take a look at that on the UK SR YouTube channel. It's still available on Twitch as well if you want to watch it on that platform. As always, of course, bring up the rear of the field. We've got GT3 Pro and Pro-Am, which a little bit quiet last week at Algarve. I mean, they were utilised a lot by the GTPs, that's for sure, as picks to be able to play that strategy. Oh, it's flipping backwards the wrong way. Of course, those cars are limited to 70% fuel capacity. LMP2, well, him. He was our winner last week, Paul Busby. God bless you, an LMP2 Pro. And, well, LMP2 Pro-Am, it was a complete sweep for them in LMP2 and also in GTP Pro, our top class, which you'll stop in a minute. There we go. Oh, it's all gone wrong here. It's all gone wrong. Anyway, across into things. Well, this evening, there we go. We get the right screen in the end. A weather report. Well, I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that it is an absolutely glorious day. I know a lot of the officials have been a little bit wet, but it's a glorious day here, and we are not far away from qualifying getting underway. Of course, GTP's heading out onto the track first. They're going to occupy the first 10 minutes of this broadcast. Then we've got the LMP2s. They'll be out on track for the 10 past the hour, depending on where you are in the world. That covers all time zones, that does. And, of course, rounding things out with GT3s. Always a bit of a scramble. Much bigger field in GT3, both Pro and Pro-Am out on the circuit, as it is no lone qualifying here whatsoever. I'll tell you what, should we get a little bit stuck into things? And, well, of course, as mentioned, GTP about to head out on track already. A little bit of change around. A couple of new drivers that are going to come on board as well. Make things, as always, as scintillating as possible. Creaky chair time as I sit down. Get comfy. You need to get comfy as well. Welcome on board, everyone watching along. Twitch, YouTube, let me know who you are cheering on. Disappointing, guys. Only 2 comments so far. We can do better than that. Smash the like button, slash the subscribe button, the follow button. Obviously, depending on which platform. Divide rule. Sean Cranley Swash running in the Mustang. Great outing for him last time in GT3, finishing second in that category. No, undoubtedly, going to be another one to watch for this time out. Martin Tilling. Team Tiki, whoop whoop. Damn right. I'm hoping for a bit of a better outing from those guys this evening. And we've got Zyno Gaming. We love you, Busby. Speaking of recovery, man. Amen to that, Zyned. Amen to that. All the best to you, Paul. We love you, mate. We absolutely love you. Right. You see him just in the background there. Getting out on track. Who's going to take pole position this time out? Are we going to see another Effect Domination Part 2? Well, as I mentioned it, Nathan Willoughby straight in the YouTube chat. Effect Domination Part 2. Right on cue, my man. Absolutely on cue. But who's going to take it this time? That's the killer point. Oh, we've forgotten this beautiful screen. And for some reason, all jinxed, all in. Change drivers can head out across the lights out there for his buying lap. Shout out to Jim, let's go in the first run. That my calculations. Credit sentiment as well. Watch course on YouTube. Live timing is available down below for you. Make sure you check that one out. That's the time to beat so far. 1:43 before taking an effect. Josh Wilson on pole, the Acura, and then it's another effect car replacing there. Bit more back to the top of the timing sheets. And now issue as always for our drivers, doesn't it? Because let's face it, okay, great. Space but since now they've been split up a little bit. We've got Titan and Altus essentially being part of the Titan outfit. Atlas is Thomas Goat, Sophia Red Park, David Van der Waals, who's had his first lap times listed. Also, Joe Newman of Pro Tech Motorsport having his first time deleted. Cy Anthony, 2 in that boat. That's a very large she gets on the inside of the wall pair out of the final turn. Very quiet. Car's very loud. Take the bounce that out from Tom. But, you know, don't like to disappoint anyone. We'll move the mic closer and it's all good there. But time pole on the board for Ridpath, who moves up into 8th position. That's good enough for 4th row of the grid there. Thompson to the top of the timing sheets. Thomas Cope up there too, breaking that effect domination that we've seen so far this season. Let's have a little look at decent lap times there. Austin Campbell ran really well in the practice session for effect simulations. However, at the moment, languishing down on the 5th row of the grid. P9 for him in qualifying. Thompson, you tell you what, cracking lap from him. Really showcasing that one. He's on an out lap like now, but half a second quicker than Thomas Cope. That is a big old margin. You see so many of our drivers separated by a 10th or 2 here and there. John Eddowes as well, hoping to impress. Yeah, okay, I'm getting bullied here right now in the chat over volume levels. Trouble is, you know, cars sound better than me. Let's face it. And there's Campbell. There you go. Much improvement from 9th to 3rd on the grid. He goes. Cope about to come across the line. Any improvement from TC? And no, he remains where he is. Although on an outlap, although displaced by his teammate Dan Sedgley, who heads up into 2nd place. Shuffling down Cope from that front row of the grid. What has Cope got in response? Needs to dig deep there. Also, Cy Anthony still languishing. Times deleted so far on both of his laps. Likewise, still Joe Newman and David Van der Waals yet to post times. As I say that, Joe Newman gets one on the board for him. He moves up into 8th place overall for ProTech in the Porsche. One of 2 Porsches in the field, of course. Cy Anthony of UKSR, there he is in the other Porsche. Hopefully. That's maybe a bit better in terms of volume levels for you guys, so you can hear my lovely tones. Although, you didn't seem to miss my slight faux pas last week in terms of, well, you know, tongue getting in front of mind in terms of what I was saying. Made the iRacing Hub Clips channel. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you, everyone involved. And I do believe Simon Bamber, who's the one who clipped it. Good man. Good man. Love to go viral. Drivers on outlap still. This is one of them. Austin William Campbell. Thomas Cope moves up onto the front row, closing up that margin to Patrick Thompson. Only 2 tenths separating them at the moment. Campbell looking to get to the top of the timing sheets to carry on that effect domination that we've seen so far this season. Can he do it? Labette displaces him. He goes up into 4th. As I mentioned previously, Austin William Campbell was top in practice. Can he do it again? Needs something big from him. No, no, no. Abandons the lap. That's him done. And I tell you what, he's run out of time because look at the clock at the top center. 9 minutes 54. So if you're on your lap, that's it. You're good to go. Thompson, any improvement from him? Yes, a 142.11. At the depth, he heads to pit road. Jumps straight in there. Cy Anthony, he's got a time on the board with his previous lap. Can he get another one on here? Looking a little bit off the pace is the Welshman. 6th row of the grid, 11th place in the Porsche. Parks it. He's done. No improvement from him. John Eddowes, the Tiki Simsport, might be able to squeeze this last lap in. Alan P2 starting to take to the track now. David Van der Waals, time on the board. Well, last attempt for him. He goes 10th, 5th row of the grid. Eddowes might be done. Also keep an eye on Sam Sherwood, line 6th overall at the moment, in the lone Cadillac in the field. He's going to be first across the line. We'll stick with Eddowes, though. Through the final turn. What's it going to be? Any improvement from him? He's currently just under 4 tenths slower than Cy Anthony, who's bottom of the pile at the moment. Across the line he goes. And, well, it is no... Well, improvement in time, but no improvement in position. He's going to wrap up the rest of the pack. It's going to be one driver to keep an eye on in LMP2 Pro for DCW Racing. Richard Sim. No, we've got a lot of you guys from DCW in the chat supporting your drivers. I don't hear from any of you yet. Give us a shout. Give us a shout. So yes, that will definitely be one driver to keep half an eye on this evening. Just had a bit of a look at the opening round at Algarve, and well, what can he do this evening in terms of reversing that fortune and arguably with Must Be Gone could well be your favourite at LMP2 Pro to take that title. But there's plenty of other opposition in there. I mean, he's highly dominated this class by Effect. You got Danny and Hugendorn. There he is for Effect Simulation Club Sports. And as I mentioned, to keep half an eye out for. Also, it's only, well, from that list, it's only Ty. It's going to be on the drivers to get laps on the board. Just starting their flying laps right now. Of course, down into Pro-Am, our last time out winner, Nathan Willoughby for Effect Simulations Carbon in the 88. Another one to watch out for. Looking to make it 2 from 2 here in Germany. Can he do it? That's the killer question. Can he do it? See how they're going to form up at the moment. Of course, GTP Pro already done and dusted. GT3 still to come in around about 6 minutes time. Those GT3 fans. Who's going to be first across the line? Well, it'll be Sabas, the privateer. in the 45 machine. Do you know a lie? It's going to be Jack Barker, in fact, in LMP2 Pro-Am, who will be the first to cross the line to set a time. Like I said, that Koopmans beat me to it. There you go. There's your bench time mark to beat a 145 in class. Let's move across the overall standing so you can see that one there. It's going to be close here in LMP2. Pro-Am went incredibly well. James Acklam moves up to second in class. There you go. I said Pro-Am will be tough to beat. Posting a glorious time for him. Up to second in class, Willoughby. Again, another strong drive. Look at that, 6,000ths of a second separating him and Acklam. Incredibly close. Tight time. Simner moves up into second in class. Joining Emil Koopmans, the Dutchman, on the front row. I said he'd be one to watch out for. Proving that already. Although Willoughby abandoning his second lap. So, who's going to be your favourites? I know we've already had a little bit of... There you go. I mentioned about DCWR. Not hearing from any of you guys in the chat. There you go. You ask, you get. Dan Webber, Danny Zilla, both over on YouTube. Of course, if you're watching us on YouTube and you've got a Twitch account, head across to Twitch. Give us a follow over on there. All helps towards the algorithm. Tell you what, just watch us on both, but meet one of them. Again, just pushes up the, pushes up the standings. All helps. All helps. Gets us notice. This is cracking league. There's no two ways about it. So Jack Barker into what will be 7th in LMP2. And yet again, we're seeing the LMP2, well, tie. Adam Ty, well, I was about to say moves up to second on the front row in LMP2, but drops one place down to third. James Acklam displacing him. Two privateers trading blows there. But it's LMP2 Pro yet again. Pro-Am yet again that really disrupting the flow that Pro have got. To watch out for, as always. That's going to be interesting come the end of the season. I think that's going to affect a few of the results. I think it is. It's just this sneaky feeling that's going to affect things as Ty pulls over to abandon that lap. Yet to set time, Sabas, who mentioned earlier on, the only time driver in class yet to set a time. Alistair Pollock at the back for DCW. What they're hoping for. Nearly bookending the class. Simner, 4th in class at the moment. 2nd in this subclass. It's Koopmans. We're going to see another great lap from him. Currently on his out lap at the moment. Some really, really tight times, as always. Hookadorn, mentioned him earlier on. He is only 600ths of a second behind Jack Barker. Now, he might be a little bit disappointed by that. He's in his subclass, I think the lowest of the lot. But still time. Still got time, of course. Once that click hits 20 minutes, so about 2.5 minutes time, we're heading across into GT3. So, still a chance for another lap. Continuing on what we saw last week, whereby the drivers are in LMP2 electing just to go for one lap, back in again, go for another. It's maybe hampering their progress, whereas GT3 last week and even GTP, we saw that continuation, putting in a couple of fast laps before heading back in again. And a slightly shorter circuit as well this week. I think it could be interesting to see what the guys over in GT3 do. Are they elect to maneuver this one? So many cars out on track, up to 30 in that category. Who can dawn across the line? I was going to say, any improvement? Well, there you go. from the back of his subcategory up to third in LMP2. Second in LMP2 Pro. There's James Acklam, who's still in the 7th. That cat amongst the pigeons there. And also Koopmans. I mean, really strong lap from him. 6/10 faster than Hugendorf. That is some lap from the Dutchman. Some lap indeed. Will Daniel pay another one? Ran well in the GT3 season last season. So, well, we conclude that only, 4 weeks ago. Seems like an absolute eternity in some ways. But, well, for old dudes in cars, one to definitely watch out for. Maybe feels like well, I feel like he's underachieved a little by his standards. The bar that he set in that 8 machine last season. Across the line he goes. Parks it up. Remains down to another one. Across the line, Jason Foreman. Haven't mentioned him. No improvement there. Two DCW's drivers together there. We've got Ethan Marone and Alistair Pollock at the back of LMP2. Yeah, not what they would have quite hoped for, I'm sure. Still, well, within a shout. That Pro-Am category. Oh, okay. And definitely, well, that's going to put the end to that lap. And actually, that puts the end of qualifying as well to Marone. Alistair Pollock there. DCW Blue. One last attempt. One last shot for Pollock. Barker's going to come across the line before him, though. He's just coming out of the final chicane. Through the final turn. What's it going to be for Jack Barker? What's that Pro-Am champion in GT3? Turning his hand to LMP2. Not quite as much success and no improvement on that final lap from him. Goes 500ths of a second slower. And that's just done in LMP2. Now it's the turn. Those guys over in GT3 taken to the track. Lamborghini there of Alan Lever from UKSR. This is always well represented in the different manufacturers. One of 3 Lamborghinis. We've also got DCW racing outfits of Ruben Bearings and Tom Weston for Lamborghini. Of course, as I mentioned, in the build-up, there he is, Sean Cranley Swash. The only Mustang in the field. So Sean, a bit of a lover of the Ford GTE. Well, technically it's Ford GT GTE, but that's a little bit of a mouthful. Ferrari, just the 2 riders in the field. There's one of them, James Conley. Everyone is from his teammate, Alistair Murray. There he is, just beginning his lap. Close together one another. It's going to be one of the Corvettes, I believe, across the line first of all. No, actually, it's going to... I thought it might be Martin Tilling. However, it's going to be his teammate, well, from the sister team at Tiki Sim Sport. That is Ryan Davis in the Porsche 911. There he is. The first driver across the line. So, GT3, we're going to see an epic fight in this class this time out. Or it's going to be all the same, where the prototypes really break up battles. There we go. Time's on the board. So Davis with Jacko Taylor then displacing him with the time to be 157.54 for him. He jumps straight into the pits, one and done. Tiki Simsport 1-2 at the top of GT3. It's DCW leading that Pro-Am category though. Ruben Bearings in the Lamborghini. And in fact, it's a Lamborghini 1-2 in Pro-Am at the moment. Arthur and Lever, apologies. He tops that category. More drivers electing for this one and done. Seen an LMP2, but also quite a few drivers not seeing times on that first lap. Andy Jones crossed the line and into second. It's a domination by Porsche at the moment, occupying the top 5 spots in GT3. And thus, GT3 Pro. But also, tale of woe for Porsche as well, with Sunstead, Smith, Kalau, and Brockner all not setting times. Brockner just actually a bit of a slow out of the box. He's just coming through the final chicane. And good to see you over in Twitch chat, getting a little bit more populated there. 306 Rally. David Lawson. Long-standing member. I hate to be known as the two-time. Don't know what you mean by that. Generally don't. Love you as always, David. Great guy. Great guy. Danny Zilla over on YouTube. Come on, Tom Weston, DCWR. Suppose I better shout out my brother. Damn right you should. Martin Tilling, though, for Corvette, disrupting the front end. Dominance of Porsche. Goes fourth. Also, Bearings. Stunning lap from him. So Brockner still to set a time. I was about to say the Coyote racing car, but that's just now. Actually, no, Joel Dutton hasn't appeared on track in the lone Audi on the field. Guy Kalau coming across the line now. So it's himself and Brockner. 2 Porsches, no times, and it's the same again for Kalau. Dutchman not having a good time here in Germany. Want to watch a strong lap last time from Jones of DCW Yellow. What's it going to be? Any improvement from him? No. It's only 400ths of a second, though, off of Davis, who's second in that category at the moment. There is that Corvette, though, that I was speaking about earlier that's really up there where, well, its manufacturer arguably might be the Porsche, definitely looking like the OP car around here. And by comparison, Corvettes, 4th in class. And then, if you look at the overall class, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Great lap there from Tilling for Tiki Simsport. Casper Brockner gets time on the board, and he moves into 8th in his subcategory, 9th in GT3 overall. Strong lap from him, Joel Dutton. Still no match from him. Still no board on the time on the board for Guy Kalau. Either of the wrong stuff. That's another driver to keep an eye out for. Nathan Ansich just kicking up the dirt there, coming off the corner. Really pushing things to the max. Currently lying 4th in Pro-Am. Really taking a lot of curb there as well on the exit. Keeping hold of the car. Exit in the final corner, out of Coca-Cola to the line. Well, improvement on time, but flies 400ths of a second off his fellow Corvette and Team Potato driver Rob Windsor. He's third in Pro-Am at the moment, but it's changed at the top. Jacko Taylor back to the top of the scenes. Andy Jones joining him on the front row, preventing a Tiki Simsport lockout there. And there's only a minute left on the clock. You need to be starting your final lap right about now if you want to get it in. Oh, so close. This is one driver to keep an eye out for, though. Casper Brockner came out much later than anyone, electing just to, you know, sit behind. Find plenty of space for him out on track. Not have his lap interrupted. Into Coca-Cola for the final time on this lap. Oh, and he's bailed it. He's bailed it. He's done. Curse of the commentator strikes so many cars in the pit lane right now. This is not one of them. It's Jacko Taylor for Tiki Simsport. It's looking like he's on an all right lap here. Could be going faster. He's only got a tenth of advantage over Jones, but Jones is in the pits at the moment. It's 1400th of a second over fellow Tiki Simsport and Porsche driver Ryan Davis. Sub to dig deep now for so many of our drivers. Only 3 drivers out there on hot laps at the moment. Taylor, Davis, and Casper Tunstead. Okay, Davis into the pits. In fact, actually, Sean Cranley Swash still out there on a lap, but not necessarily looking too good from him. He's going to be disappointed that one after running so strong at the season opener last week at Portimao. Here comes Taylor on that run to the line. Tunstead just behind him. What's it going to be from Jacko Taylor? It's an improvement in time, a solid lap, a 57.27 Tunstead. No improvement there, so that just leaves Cranley Swash to cross the line in the Ford. And he goes faster, but it's not enough. And at the line, Darren Sharple, someone we haven't mentioned in the Porsche, nicks it at the death. Lovely stuff from him. Well, that is us done and dusted in qualifying. Thick, fast. Whew. Right. We wait for the session to roll over. Well, calm before the storm starts, ladies and gentlemen. Get to enjoy the scenic views, of course, on the Grand Prix circuit tonight here at the Nurburgring. In the Nordschleife, that could have been a right spectacle and a half, but always the best for multi-class, that one. Narrow circuit, you know. Always the best. Still waiting for that session to roll over. Wait for the flicker of the screen, and then we'll know it will definitely kick in. I still had to have our yet to have our. I'll get there in a minute. Still to have our first rain affected race of the season. There you go. We got there. Got there. I was a little bit surprised. I thought maybe, just maybe, what with the rain was seen in officials. Maybe it might have kicked in, but no, not today, unfortunately. Not today. Still waiting for this to click over. What? It's taking its time. That's for certain. I'm still enjoying. There we go. There we go. Flicker. Here we are. Patrick Thompson on pole. Thomas Cope joining him on the front row. It's Olympus versus Effect again, but it's on row 2. This time, Dan Sedgley and Damien Labette. This time, making it row 2, Austin William Campbell and Sam Sherwood. Onto row 3. Well, row 4 is Josh Wilson and Joe Newman. Ben Cullen and David Van der Waal making another Effect versus Olympus row. That's for row 5 to round out your top 10. At row 6, Sophia Redpath lines up alongside Cy Anthony of UK SR. Well, row 7. It's John Eddowes by himself. Emil Koopman's on the front row. It's LMP2 Pro and LMP2 Pro-Am on that front row, with James Acklam, the privateer, putting in a solid lap in qualifying. Richard Simner on row 2 with Danny Huguenon. Well, Alan Ty is next to Nathan Willoughby to make up another Pro and Pro-Am LMP2 row. Jason Foreman and Simon Bamber continue on that formation, while Jack Barker and newcomer to the series for Olympus Esports, Connor Craven, make up row 5. Daniel Pay, slightly out of sync, but you know, with Ethan Marone. Well, it's Alistair Pollock and Sebas to complete that LMP2 grid. Cross now into GT3, and it's an all GT3 Pro row at the front. Jacko Taylor next to Andy Jones, Ryan Davis and Martin Tilley making an all Tiki Sim Sports row 2. And look at that, 3 drivers in the top 4 positions for Tiki Sim Sports. Nathan Law and Kevin Daniels, apologies, for DTK by Eagle Speed, lines up next to Ruben Bearings, while Nathan, who's our top qualifier in the Pro-Am category, when Nathan Law and Casper Tunstead line up next to each other. Casper Brockner has Tom Weston for company, while Adam Lever and Darren Sharples, Cranley Swash and McCurrick. Windsor rounds to 42nd. Anstis Davis. Yeah, this driver's starting to head off on the Porsche 911 safety car right now. James Conley for UKSR. Might be disappointed by that one. Have some good runnings in GT3 season. Alistair Murray, Cameron Smith, the privateer. Guy Kalal, another driver, disappointing in qualifying. There's a few of them. Joel Dutton did not take part in qualifying and has not made the start. I can guarantee you that one. There we go. Let's get ready to go racing. Second time this season, folks, as we are green and we are away in GTP, heading down a turn 1. Here we go towards the Mercedes Arena. It's all Linus turn. It's an easy start in GTP for the moment as they head into the arena for the first time. LMP2 coming out of Coca-Cola, and it's a bit of side-by-side just in the background there. Koopman's got the jump on absolutely everyone, but it's Bamber as well, and Willoughby making strong starts here for effect as they enter the Mercedes Arena. Meanwhile, at GT3, orderly a fashion, Linus Stern, but I tell you what, Nathan Ansted, something's happened at the start, because Al Lever's dropped right down. So's Kevin Daniel. So's Ruben Bearings. And that means Nathan Anstis is up 4 places in class and at 5 overall. And he hasn't even started the race. Great start for the Corvette and Team Potato. But back up the front, Linus Stern still in GTP. The Acuras going to work here, led by the Apex Racing Academy driver of Patrick Thompson and that 29 machine. Sophia Redpath, strong start from her at 4 places. Joe Newman dropping down too. Incidents are plenty. We'll cover them shortly once things have settled down a little bit. James Acklam, after that strong showing qualifying, to get himself on the front row. He's dropped down 2 in LMP2. Now finds himself still leading class, but 4th in the overall LMP2 standings. Have a look. Let's have a little look down the field. Has Berry's got any damage to that car? That's the big question for DCW. Lamborghini looking okay at the moment and really harassing Cameron Smith there. The privateer practically bullied through the Schumacher S's. And Bearings makes his way through. It's going to be a long old evening for the Benelux driver to try and recover up some of those places. Of course, that new addition to this week at the bottom, we have got the rolling ticker, but hold on, hold your horses onto the brakes. As that's Alistair Murray of UKSR. And I tell you what, Cameron Smith in that Porsche looking really, really nervous, really tentative, having to defend this round the outside. Comes the Ferrari. The 15 of Alistair Murray getting the job done. And is it me? Or does that Porsche of Smith look like it's going very slowly? Guy Kalau getting the move done as well. 2 positions lost in pretty much 1 corner for the British driver. I'll lever, another one caught up in that. Now, I cannot see any damage. We're going to take a little look back once maybe things have calmed down a little bit in these opening stages. Starting to see 2 distinct groups emerge. Our top 4 breaking away. It's Apex, Olympus, Effect in that breakaway group. Meanwhile, behind them, Austin, Will and Campbell leading the charge for Effect in that 555 machine, trying to haul the gaggle behind him all the way up. But it's Ridpath. He's really been that standout performer at 4 places so far in category. See there, I'll tell you what, Sam Sherwood, the lone Cadillac in GTP. Few drivers looking a bit nervous, a bit sensitive out there. He's another one of them at this stage. It's Ridpath. Looks to really find a way past. Looking left, looking right, just trying to maneuver Sherwood. It's exactly where she wants him. Practically stalking like a lion on her prey right now. Should be a lioness. Meanwhile, let's have a little look further down the field into LMP2. Simon Bamber of Pro-Am. Though a change in LMP2, this won't be a change in subcategory. Bamber, of course, of Pro, Sebas of Pro-Am. Although dropping back a little bit, Sebas now. Bamber just opening out about 4 tenths. That gap had got very, very close, but I'll tell you what. GT3, I said about it not being as exciting last week, but here we go down in turn 1, nearly 3 wide. Cranley Swash looking left, looking right, mirrors filled. It's Corvette one way, it's Ferrari the other. But it's the latter 2 that are side by side through the Mercedes arena. And Cranley Swash and that Mustang can breathe a sigh of relief. These all sort themselves out. Ansys tucks in front of Connolly. Connolly cannot get the move done for UKSR in that 46. But they're all queuing up behind. It's Ford, Corvette, Ferrari, Corvette, Lamborghini, Corvette. The American manufacturer making up 6. So 3 of those 6 positions. Well, I'll try and take a little bit look back to the start of exactly what happened. So this is what happened to Kevin Daniel. I'll speed it up a little bit. Not too much action happening on track. Oh, it all got a little bit. Well, there you go. That's what happened. They're racing to the final court, to the chicane, sorry. And funnily enough, it all ended up in a right old royal state. And Kevin Daniel, a DDK by Eagle Speed Academy. Oh, Sebas is he disconnected? I think he may well have done. Yeah, he's gone from the session. Neil Koopmans, though, I tell you what, picking up where his teammate and team manager led by example last week and cleared off into the distance. This time, Emil Koopmans of Effect Simulations carrying the Buzzbeam mantle. 3.5 seconds. We're only 4 laps into that. That's nearly a second per lap of a gap that he has picked up. Frightening stuff. And Simona, who I cannot implore just how quick this guy is. He's been on my radar for so long. And that just showcases you just how strong a performance we're seeing from Koopmans right now. Simner, well, half a second behind him is Hugendorn. Let's move further down LMP2. Jack Barker, the privateer, has newcomer Colin Craven of Olympus Esports right behind him. What a start. Seeing in the chat, GCP about to hit that traffic. Of course, you can see from the track map in the top right-hand corner. There they are, getting involved. There's your leader, Thompson. Making his way through, and that's Cope just getting caught up there behind one of the UKSR Ferraris. Through the Schumacher S's, could not do anything about it. The two Acuras of Olympus. But look at this traffic. Hold tight, everyone, here we go. Where do you look? In front of you. You can see it in the rearview mirror behind you. You can hear the downshifts and the Acura, and it's nearly back to the back of the DCWR Lamborghini. What's Cope going to do? He picks right. He's got to be careful. There's that UKSR Ferrari just shutting the move down. Needs to take that racing line. Needs to be predictable for Cope. Deploying all of that hybrid electricity to help catapult him out the corner. Sedgley follows him through too. This is why we love multi-class, folks. It gets gnarly in these opening stages. Oh, here comes Ridpath up the inside of Austin William Campbell. But the Corvette is going to be used to the pick. Ridpath squeezes, trying to force a move, trying to force a way past Campbell, but won't get it done. That's how close it is, folks. Josh Wilson, sweetie boy, behind. As they make their way through the GT3s, it's GCP's left, GT3's right, and it's nearly into the back of Campbell for Ridpath. Fascinating stuff. Absolutely fascinating. It's here again as Ridpath is another to go. They make it free wide. She attempts to move around the outside, snatches that front right brake. Campbell says, no, 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 you're not getting past me there. And utilising that electrical deployment to cat him out of the corner. It's the flashing of the lights from Ridpath. As Sherwin in that caddy makes his way past Cranley Swash, who's a sitting duck in that Mustang right now. And Wilson just caught up behind him. That's going to delay him, kill off a bit of momentum. But what's Ridpath got here? Where's she going to make her move? This feels like when, not if, the Olympus driver is going to get this done and affect this week struggling against Olympus. It was role reverse, and that's the move done. She's through. Upper position, that's 5 places gained so far, and she is the highest climber so far this race. And no instant reply from Campbell. He knows we've still got another 50 minutes left on the clock here from round 2 of the UKSR Multi-Class Championship. I nearly lost my voice at the football earlier on. Oh, Sherwood's around. He's got the caddy for ProTech. The 171 machine comes out in front of Cullen for Effect Simulations Carbon. And these tyres are going to be very toasty on that caddy. Whew. What a start. What an opening 11 minutes and 18 seconds. Let's have a little check-in with Koopmans now. We saw from Patrick Thompson what it was like to try and pass the traffic, and largely GCP. That's the turn of LMP2. They don't have that hybrid deployment to call on. What the GTPs do. And the GT3s do tend to have better traction off the corners compared to the LMP2s. So this is going to come down to a lot to do with momentum, choosing the right place for Koopmans. It's built up a 3.5 second gap over Richard Simner and does not want to lose it due to traffic. That's Tunstead. Porsche on Porsche past Nathan Lowell. Getting it done there. Lovely into the chicane. Because that's one of the Porsche. Yeah, they leave that Cy Anthony. No, sorry. It's Joe Newman, a ProTech, and then Cy Anthony. The two Porsche GTPs making their way past Tunstead. As we look behind them, in fact, actually a lull. It's now got Casper Brock there looking to the Leonide move. This could be 2 places lost in as many corners very nearly. It's a Law. Lunges at the inside, then the outside, trying to hang it on out there. He's still by my side. They almost bang doors through the Mercedes arena, but no. Tunstead keeps that 104 ahead for Peak Sim Racing. But you get the feeling this is not done and dusted. When will Brockner look to make a move? It feels like it's coming fast. So many battles happening out on track, but this one is definitely not going away. As they almost touch once again, as they head down towards Dunlop. On the inside, this time for Brockner. It's on the brakes as a big lunge, and it's the move done. As the 11 heads on past, but it's a great drag off the corner from the 38, as here comes the Frenchman of Law. He's going to settle through the Schumacher S's and settle behind Casper Brockner for now. For now. Oh. That's looking like a lovely little close battle that we've got going on. Simon Shaper, David Van der Voor's going to lose a bit of time to that DCW. Oh, there's contact. As Van der Voor's look to slow up, and Edo's, well, he hit the Van der Voort that was the Olympus driver right in the rear. And the young Dutchman heads to the pits. Down in LP2, we've got an almighty battle starting to happen. And it's all over second place in LMP2 Pro-Am. James Acklam, he's cleared off into the distance. But there they are. It's Willoughby who leads the way. Foreman, Barker, both privateers. Connor Craven in there. Daniel Pay, Simon Bamber too. So we look back from Willoughby to put some distance between himself and his fellow competitors, but further down, desperate to try and display some of this GT3 traffic. It's a little bit gnarly at this stage. Pick up the wrong driver there, Daniel Pay, and Simon Bamber especially getting caught up there behind one of the UKSR drivers. I think that's James Conley in the 46 Ferrari. Dawson, Andy Dawson of Top Split Sebring fame, no less, for effect. Can't even begin to see how well Emil has picked up LMP2. Only 4 weeks in the car so far. Yeah, I used to like Emil Koopmans, now I don't. It's annoying how some people can just jump in something and pick it up so quickly. Certainly as a rubbish racer like myself. This battle's starting to really space out now, unfortunately, for us, due to the traffic. Bit gutting, not going to lie. But they'll all come back together again. We've still got time. GT3 still close as you like, up and down for the field. Lots of little battles happening out here. Concentrate on this one. The Corvette of Carl McGurrick, the DCW Red. And that Corvette. And that is James Conley ahead of us, behind Rob's Windsor Team Potato. And also, is that, yes, that is Ann Lever in the UKSR Lamborghini, bringing up the rear. They've got one of the DCWR prototypes, which is penned in there. Oh, as they switch and move around to try and find some space. That's Pollock and Ethan Marone picking their way through, but there's a little bit of contact, is there? No. Leather having a bit of a lunge down towards the Mercedes arena. Can't get it done. As by comes one of the Olympus GTPs. Trying to clock who that one is. Yeah, I think that is David Van der Voor's, who's recovering after that incident earlier on with Hados of Tiki Sim Sport. Let's listen to that V10 scream. Oh, and he's lost the rear. Around goes Lever, and he's in the middle of the track. He'll get away with that when he backs it up and he falls out of that battle. Right. It was 4 cars. We're down to 3. Go on board with someone and they lose the rear. Into the pits, John Eddowes of Tiki Simsport, 12th overall in GCP. Sign a game, curse to the commentator. You're damn right. If there's anyone who's a pro at it, well, that's definitely me. Definitely me. Question, has it calmed down enough to try and review some of the action? I'm not so sure. We'll try and maybe sneak a bit in here, but maybe not. Conley going to prey on the straight line speed of that Ferrari to outdo the Corvette of McGurrick right behind him. Down the start finish straight they go. On board with Rob Windsor, Team Potato in the Corvette. Epic battle going on between these 3. All over 36th place overall. Sun starting to set, giving picturesque scenes here over Germany. Down towards Dunlop. Playing it safe for the moment. These drivers. But now. There is Campbell, and right on hot on his heels is the Cadillac of Sam Sherwood. Now, Sherwood dropped his places. Seem to have found a bit of rhythm here behind Campbell, who's seems to be towing him along. This group been a little bit split up in these early stages after passing through the traffic, and to come around once more. Cameron Smith there in the privateer Porsche. Incidentally, one of the few drivers who's not changed position in class. Past Guy Kalau, the wrong stuff, and this is looking like a move on. 60 opportunity. Oh, there's contact and nudged into the inside wall goes Sherwood. In that Protect caddy, and the flash of the light says, well, it's definitely not a thank you very much, is it? But there's more traffic still to come. This is not done and dusted for Sherwood. He can close this back up, and all it takes is Campbell to get caught up in a bit of traffic, just like here, at the wrong place, at the wrong time, but equally Sherwood as well in that caddy, caught up on corner exit. They'll slow it up and help Campbell to maintain that gap. There's been a little bit of, actually, no, there's not been a net gain at all, as it's more traffic, and oh, a lockup, a lunge. It was brave, ambitious. Was it the right move? I'm not too sure for Sherwood, because it was nearly contact with Lever in the Lamborghini for UKSR. Looking further up the track, rid path. Well, cannot rid Wilson from her path, whom Jinx left. And the Swede looks to make a lunge. Gonna have to bide his time for the moment, though, is Wilson. Back markers, traffic playing a part in this story here right now on lap 13. And what the hell is that picture? You really do have to question some things in life, don't you? Go through someone's mind. Flash through the traffic there. Just let them know where they are. Let's give them red path. The breathing space she needs now to open up that gap. Further down through the field, that is John Eddowes in front of Adam Ty. Although not change, well, change of position overall there for Eddowes. But Ty still remaining third in that LMP2 Pro category. Koopmans, he's long and gone. Simner well ahead, but it's James Acklam who's really providing the story of the day for me. Oh, so dominant in that Pro category. And also, you know, the fact he put in such a strong qualifying as well. And as I said in the build-up and during qualifying, LMP2 Pro-Am could well be the class to watch this season. And talking of LMP2, it's getting close once again. Craven, Barker and Bamber. Well, they do have Van der Waals and that Olympus Acura GTP right behind them. Who, well, Dutchman is a wise. Oh, Bamber. Well, was that additional rotation to get the car turned in? Was it Tokyo Drift and nearly losing the rear? Allows Van der Waals to head on by. Oh, nearly makes contact with the rear of them. Is that a bit of traffic I can spy on the horizon? Yes, I can. I believe that's Cameron Smith there. Moves right. Bamber clinging on for his life right now, but it's Van der Waals who's making it uncomfortable. And Barker's going to be slow off the corner. What can Bamber do now? This is your moment, Simon Bamber. It's closed up the gap. It's right on board with the Brit for Effect Simulations Carbon. It's a GCP that's really making a nuisance of itself. It also affects his own Olympus co-driver as well, Conor Craven. And that 1-2-3 Olympus LMP2 just a little bit held up there. To the chicane. Plenty of curb bouncing off them from Bamber. Already affecting the way you get the power down. Just the one retirement so far. Nuja Sabas, the privateer from LMP2 Pro-Am. Was Joe Dutton did not make the start, but I'm getting news we've had a incident somewhere. Let's have a little bit of a look, see what's happened. Here we go. John Davis to the wrong stuff. Oh, switch mid-corner. Held on to it, and then, oh, through Dunlop. Around the rear goes. Back on board with Bamber. Bacalazas had an instance pretty much straight away afterwards as well. Not sure what's happened there. What a start we've had, folks. I keep going back to and saying it, but we really have been treated to an absolute delight at the start here from round 2 of the season. And it's not going away, and certainly not in GT3. You asked, you got, in terms of more battles in this category. It's Lever. From Davis, from Daniel, from Murray. 4 manufacturers, Lamborghini, Corvette, Porsche and Ferrari, all involved in this one. And there goes the Effect LMP2. That's Danny Hukendorn for Effect Simulation Club Squad and the 33 machine. Glad to be out of the way of this battle, that's for certain. Down from the blimp. See just how close it is. Ooh. Daniel Pay, first pit stop of the day. Just, wow, 27 minutes complete here out of the 60 from Nurburgring. I'm just coming around about on half race distance. Again, it's another LMP2 getting into the mix here. So to separate this battle, scattered across the track. And that's the 42 of Simner. He's second in LMP2 at the moment. As well as that'd be the ProTech Porsche, I do believe, in GTP of Joe Newman on board in that car. Oh, free wide, surely not, surely not. Somebody's going to give, somebody's going to yield. Will it be the Corvette? Yes, it is, on the outside. And Davis there, having to allow Daniel of DDK Eagle Speed Academy through. But in doing so, Alistair Murray now and that Ferrari for UKSR now right on the attack, right behind them. And look what's looming. It's the LMP2 traffic. More's coming through. This time it's James Ackland, the privateer, in the 7 machine. I do believe. No, it's the 78 of Adam Ty up the inside. That's one dispatched off. In fact, I tell you what, we'll see if we can ride on board with him through this little bit of traffic. How does he tackle it? Oh, that's so close there. Coming off the exit of Mercedes Arena. Still, somehow, this group remaining pretty much in touch with one another. That looks incredibly close, but I think it's just the camera angle. We'll get away with that one. A Ridpath into the pits after that strong start for the Olympus driver in GCP. A bit of a mention. I hardly seen him all race long. Hardly mentioned about him. Patrick Thompson of Apex Racing Academy. 6.6 seconds the lead for him. Incidentally, very identical times between our top drivers in GTP and LMP2 between their second place counterparts. Still, Craven, Barker and Bamber as close as you like to one another. Something happened to Joe Newman of ProTech. One of the 2 Porsches in GCP. He's come off track, come back on track, and then headed to the pits. See if we can discover what happened to... Oh. And that may well be a little bit of hardware failure there. That could be what is our second true retirement of the day. Although Andy Jones, after racing well early on, is in the pits in GT3 and does not look like coming out of there fast. What has happened to him? I hear you cry. Bear with me. I'm onto it. I'm onto it. There are 2 incidents where he's come off track. Oh. And after a great qualifying from Jones at DCW. Oh, right, okay. So there's a precursor to this one. There's a precursor to this one. Right, leave it with me, folks. I'm onto this. Leave it with me. Leave it with me. Off. Cameron Smith. I think Cameron Smith and Daly Labette as well have had a bit of a coming together. Labette's lost a lot of time. That could well be one of the cars. We saw him. Nowhere to go. Oh, unlucky there. Oh, okay, right. A bigger incident than what we first thought there. That's down at Dunlop. Still trying to find out what happened to DCW for you. Live pictures, although my bookmark seems to have disappeared on itself. Nice and handy. Ben Cullen, normally the one to elect not to qualify. I qualified at the back of the grid today, incidentally, but does have Cy Anthony of UKSR in that 27 Porsche GTP right behind them. Coming through a few LMP2s. Does have an effect car in front of them. Will help Cullen a little bit here. However, these GTPs and LMP2s still quite evenly matched mid-corner. It's really that hybrid deployment that truly makes the large difference. Still, you see the difference here. They're still trying to catch up with everyone. That is Bamber and Marone of Effect and DCW right in front of him. Finally gets the move done. Bamber looks to follow Cullen through. Won't get it done. And Anthony, well, going to lose a lot of time there. Caught between the two LMP2s. A lovely move from Cullen just to use them as the pick. As we see one of them bails into pit road. Ethan Marone into the pits. Delving deeper into this race. 25 minutes complete out of the hour. Koopman's having Van der Waals, sorry, no, it's John Eddowes in front of him, who has been into the pits. That's why that looks as close as what it does. But the LMP2 driver taking the fight to GTP. Koopman's looking for a position inside that top 10 overall. He absolutely static with that one, as well as taking away the class of victory. Looking strong for that one. Second in LMP2 at the moment. It's James Acklam, who ironically is our leader in LMP2 Pro-Am. Simner has pitted though, so a little bit of a false positive in some ways on that one for the moment. In some ways, some of these battles getting almost as tense as the England game earlier on. Ruben Bering second at the moment in GT3 Pro-Am. But does have one James Conley of UKSR in the Ferrari 46 machine, not too far behind. 7/10 of a second separating those two. Be longer, but actually this could close up here a little bit. Yeah, in fact, Bering's just losing a bit of time there. Under traffic to one of the effect cars in GTP. It could be Josh Wilson potentially. There goes Cy Anthony in the UKSR Porsche. Conley, incidentally, actually losing time out of that. Net loss of pretty much half a second, and well, exaggerated angles coming off the final turn there from the LMP2. Our closest battle we've got. So we've got a few starting to linger about now. Space is starting to emerge for so many of our drivers. Davis to the wrong stuff has caught up to the back. Just he's bit by bit been picking away at the Mustang of Anstey Sports. That's the 117 of Sean Cranley Swash there. Caught at well, slight amounts, although traffic again coming into play once more. Davis, in fact, he's lost a major amount of time through that. Around about 0.4 of a second. Not a light amount of time. Really true. Closest battle, though we've got the two Olympus cars very close to another of Sedgley and Cope of Olympus. Talking of Olympus, we have one Charles Bashar, the team manager, in the chat. Let us know, Charles. Great to see you, as always. Great guy, great co-commentator. One of my favourite Americans. So yes, Wilson leading that caddy. It's so distinctive. You hear it before you see it. It's looking really close. That caddy is looking so aggressive. And Wilson, is he going to be vulnerable here? Into the chicane. He fends it off. Just about. Just about. Across the start-finish line they come. Jinxing out from the traffic. Across the start-finish line. Run down towards turn one. It's the traffic slalom, high speed. That sun really, really setting. Now here in Germany, got a cloud on the horizon, but that's nothing to worry about whatsoever. Also currently up 3 positions in class in the 91. Sherwood only up the 1 for ProTech in that caddy. Yeah, that whine of the electric motors engaging. Bold commitment here from Wilson. And it's nothing less even from Sherwood in that Cadillac. The core, the GC freezes Sherwood there. Losing the time and, well, desperately trying to navigate this bit of traffic that they've just caught up on the back of. It's advantage Wilson. But Sherwood's going to get the slipstream all the way down the side, finish straight past the UKSR Ferrari of. That will be Murray. Alistair Murray, currently residing 10th in GT3 Pro-Am. Sun beautifully moving across the top of the windscreen there for Sherwood. Oh, and a switch there. Wow, first from Wilson. more minor twitch from Sherwood, but you can hear just how hesitant he is on the throttle, looking at that power down. Not in the way in which he would want to. Flashing the lights there to the traffic just to let them know I'm here too. It's not just Josh Wilson in that effect, Acura. The 91 looking to be the battering ram for himself and the 171 caddy. Definitely that Cadillac looking way more comfortable for these last couple of sectors. And is this now the time? There's no back markers in play, truly. Wilson will get a little bit of a slipstream off the Corvette there, but as they head across the start-finish line, what can Sherwood do down into turn one? Can he get him on the brakes? He's not feeling adventurous enough this time, but time's running out. We've only got 15 minutes left to play. And still yet to stop at either of these two. Because we saw that giga fuel save from our race leader, Patrick Thompson of Apex Racing Academy. Last time out at Portimao. Have one or two of the drivers just learnt a thing from that? Oh, getting a bit close once more. Jack Barker's had a bit of an incident out on track. Anything down in towards Dunlop? No, nothing between these two. Let's check in exactly what happened there. Privateer heading on, well, past pit exit down towards turn one. Does he lose it by himself? There's no one else around by him. Oh, and a half spin there for him. Cameron Smith in the Porsche. They leave it in sympathy to Barker, who we're about to see. No, just lost it by himself. Barker had already sorted himself out. Well, we're watching that. No change between these two. Just get the feeling Sherwood just can't quite get close enough. Maybe this is the moment here. Maybe this is the moment. A bit of traffic can sometimes go a long way if you encounter it in the right place. Sherwood having to open up the steering there. It's going to be tight. Sherwood's going to push to the max. Wilson's clear here as he heads out of Ford curve. And Wilson ekes out around about half a second. But I'll tell you what, let's take a little look behind us. Because, hello, that's another effect car. That's Austin William Campbell. He's come along to play in these dying stages. And right now, Sam Shearer with the Protect meat in an effect sandwich. Well, technically, this is a Protect sandwich. It's effect to the bread. Let me know. Started saying over in YouTube chat, someone putting the oil down on that turn. It seems that way. A lot of people, certainly in these GCPs, clatter at the curbs there from Sherwood, are getting really loose on corner exit. Try to keep half an eye on other battles that are happening. It's all starting to come together. We're having the crescendo towards the end of the race here, viewers. As that is Danny Hugendorn ahead of Craven. And guess what? It's another Effect versus Olympus fight. This time down in LMP2. Positions overall in in the overall LMP2 category, although these two are from different subsections. Hugendorn, of course, Pro-Am for Craven, who's had a real good outing on his debut here in the championship for Olympus. Really impressed by him. Definitely more to come from him, that's for sure. Also, another battle that's... Well, this one's loomed on quite large for a bit of a while. Maguric been involved in lots of battles with DCW and that Corvette. He's been catching, as I said earlier on, to that Anstey Mustang, the triple, so the 117. Oh, well, look who's coming through. It's the two battles that we've been talking about. All on your screen right now and boxed in. That's going to allow Wilson to get well ahead. As the caddy of Sherwood held up there, flashing the lights from Cranley Swash in that Mustang. As they all head off. Campbell still hot on the tail of Sherwood. It's got it all to do yet again. And a real distinguishment here between those drivers that have stopped and those that haven't in GTP. Moment. Everyone up to including Cy Anthony, 8th overall at the moment, are yet to stop. Redpath, top of the runners, who has stopped so far. So stick with this battle for a bit and see how it plays out as the GTP is starting to come through thick and fast. Tell you what, this is hotting up, isn't it? Sometimes you just need to sit back and then watch and enjoy certain moments. But finally, it looks like Maguric's gonna get it done. Or no, he's not, because look at that Mustang. Normally when a car comes to iRacing, certainly a GT3, it's OP. It's better than everything else. The Mustang's had a bit of a slating in its, well, infancy to the service. But right now, Cranley Swash driving the reels off it, looking for that wider line to get the momentum coming out of Coca-Cola to head down the straight. Down to turn one we go. Can he defend that Corvette? The two new cars to the service, going head-to-head inside the last 10 minutes here from round 2 of the championship, and it's done up the inside. Oh, well, it was relatively easy in the end for McCurrick for DCW. Something's happened to Sherwood, that battle we were watching earlier on. Let's see if we can... Oh, there you go. The slide from Sherwood takes him out of that fight. Right, 8 minutes to go, folks. 8 minutes to go. Cameron Smith had another incident out on track. Also, we've still got this. Craven will not let Hugendorn go, will he? Two very evenly matched drivers seeming to be. Actually, Thompson still leading this one by... Well, the gap has shrunk somewhat. He'd opened up a 3-second gap very early on, although it's like Sedgley and Cope have swapped around. Sedgley's lost a lot of time. A lot of time, because two Olympus drivers were side by side. And talking of which, Ben Cullen in GTP for effect had an incident. Oh, just got caught on the curb there. Well controlled. Joins the track. Another LMP2 battle. Starting to emerge at these late stages, and it's getting really close as Foreman squeezes Bamber there. Foreman currently lying third in Pro-Am. Bamber fourth in Pro. It nearly all came to blows down at turn one. The entrance into the Mercedes arena. Foreman just needing to, well, calm down. I mean, hold on to this class podium. Does not want to come to blows so late on. So they're coming up on the DCW LMP2s. And that's going to be Alistair Pollock. Yes, it is. He's a lap down currently. Let's use him as a bit of a battering ram. Bamber, the wily old fox. There you go, lunges to the inside, but Foreman swoops round the outside of the Lamborghini. This is turning into a bit of a dogfight here. It's into the pits late on. Good for drivers. Yeah, Wilson, Sherwood, and Anthony all needing a splash and dash as we head towards the last 5 minutes of racing. They're flashing the lights from Bamber. He'll want letting through as well, but he's not going to have a good exit off of the corner. Oh, this is not what Bamber wants. He doesn't want a drag race with a DCW car down towards turn one. He'd want the draft and the wiggling there in frustration. Well, if you can't flash your lights and shake your car, Simon Bamber, well, he'll be hoping for another rain-affected race as well. After his exploits, we saw Thomas. We've seen both the Olympus cars both head down pit road now. Cope and Sedgley. Surely Thompson can't go the whole race without stopping. There's Thompson. Sedgley running in his pit box. Back to the Bamber. This is Foreman battle that we've got to maybe occupy us here. The red path is closing up onto the back of Sherwood. No, sorry, Anthony onto the back of Ridpath even. Apologies. Olympus ahead of the UKSR. Let's see, not just being an accurate on accurate battle here in the closing stages. Two different manufacturers going at it. Porsche of UKSR in that 27. Coming into the fight, but it's definitely the Acura's the weapon of choice at the moment in GTP for this season's build. Here on the iRacing service. And there's a GTP in the way, and that, well, the Welshman, of course the dragon, so much the symbol of Wales, and definitely be breathing fire at having that so late in the race. Could see, could pretty much reach out and touch that Olympus Acura. But don't worry, there is still time, there's still chance, and Anthony knows it as he closes right in within a flash as yet again that Welsh Dragon breathes down the back of the neck of Ridpath. And the flash of the lights is showing that intent right now. He eases up the gap. Ridpath looking a little bit nervous, a little bit tentative here on the curbs. And that's going to give Fancy the chance as he pulls alongside, down towards Dunlop, onto the brake surely from Anthony. And he gets the move done. Ridpath facilitates it, makes it a little bit easier than probably should have done. Cy Anthony through, up into 8th. Great move from the Porsche driver. Two minutes left. Clock ticking. Cullen into the pits for effect. And surely. Patrick Thompson, he has stopped. Austin William Campbell, the only car yet to stop though. I mean, splash and dash right at the end? Potentially for him? Surely not. Surely can't go the whole race without stopping. There's Bamber leaving more time to... Oh, man, who's going slow? Who's going slow there? I think he might have picked up a slowdown. Trying to have a little look back through my logs. Yeah, that smells to me of a bit of a slowdown there incurred, and that's going for Foreman, who's running an epic battle with Bamber. Right, let's have a look across into GT3, specifically GT3 Pro right now. Closing stages. It won't go away. It's still a battle as Thompson's into the pits and he's lost the lead. He has lost the lead. And we've had a change, and it's Thomas Cope who leaves for Olympus here in the dying stages from the Nurburgring. How has he lost all this time? He looked clear. He sailed off into the distance. And was it just... Yeah, he sailed past him while he was in the pits. There's a couple of seconds less in the pit stop. Well, actually, Thompson had the slowest pit stop. So that means that he's tried to go the whole way. He's ran out of options. And Cope, who's been pedal to the metal, he's not gambled. Looking like he's going to win this one. He's on the final lap. He's got half a lap to go for Olympus. Oh, what a turn up for the books that would be. Right, what else have we got? We've got this GT3 battle that's about to start its final lap. It's a Law versus Tunstead. It's GT3 all over again like we saw last season. These two coming to blows. And this is all over third. The last place on the podium. The last chance of picking up some digital silverware. Oh, and Thomas Cope, we're going to cut to him as he's going to take the checker flag. He wins round 2 from the Nurburgring for Olympus Esports and Acura. A great turn up from the books, right at a death from him. Thompson's going to finish 2nd. Sedgley 3rd for Olympus. Copeman's across the line. He's going to take a comfortable victory for effect to keep their winning streak in LMP2 Pro going. James Acklam, he's looking clear. He's going to pick up 2nd in LMP2 overall and also in Pro-Am. Privateer pulling out an epic performance of absolute magnitudes here today. Great result from him. Back markers, so GTP's getting in the way of this. Bal Tunstead dropping 8 tenths behind, or is he? He's gained in 2 tenths. Can he reel him in? That's John Eddowes and Tiki Sim Sport in the Acura heading on by. Looking in that rear view mirror. There's nobody behind us in that Peak Sim Racing Porsche. We see a run to the line. Oh, a slight mistake there. This is going to be closer maybe than when we first thought. 2 temps coming into Coca-Cola for the final time. You just need a good exit here. Nathan Lawler, and he's going to get it. And he's going to hold on to 3rd place. Tunstead, not enough to snatch it away from the Frenchman at the line. Jacko Taylor picks up that victory, though, in GT3. Congratulations to him for Tiki Simsport. We ran out a 1-2 for Tiki Simsport in GT3. GT3 Pro runner Darren Sharples. Quiet evening for him, but I'm sure he'll take that one with 2 hands. But hats off goes to our winner here today, Thomas Cope, who's, well, won it after only leading 1 lap. It was the final lap, but it was the lap that counted. And Patrick Thompson will be walking away from this one asking lots of questions of himself, I'm sure. Had the faster pit stop, but clearly just taking it a little bit too easy to work the fuel strat. And while it's going to take a bit of a push around from his teammate to get him right round to the end, I think. Great day for Olympus, back on top here. 1 week ago, it promised so much for the team in their battle with effect, but wow, they've come out on top today in GTP. The effect just didn't seem to have the answer for them. Yeah, it might have been a little bit of luck that came their way, but you've got to be there. And Patrick Thompson in the chat on Twitch, what a skill issue. Cars running out left, right of fuel, left, right, and center. Tell you what, we should have the results in now. Let's head across to those. So yes, we can. There you go. Confirmation. Thomas Cope, your victor here today. Patrick Thompson, I'm to settle for 2nd. Dan Sedgley making a double podium for Olympus. Effect only good enough for 4th. Austin William Campbell there. And in fact, you know what? He didn't stop. I do believe he didn't stop the whole race. That's impressive. Maybe the fuel levels need to be looked at. I don't know. We'll have an update for you in a week's time on that one. Josh Wilson into 5th for effect, and Cullen rounding out 3 cars inside the top 6. Unfortunately, 4 through 6 for effect. Protect in the caddy, it was Sam Sherwood in 7th. Cy Anthony, one of the 2 Porsches running in GTP for UKSR, in 8th. Ridpath, disappointing after an electric start from her. I think she'll be gutted with the 9th place. And Damien Labette incidents, meaning he finishes in 10th. Likewise for Van der Waal in 11th. And John Eddowes for Tiki Simsport rounding out the GTP field. Emil Koopmans, 13th overall. Unlucky for some, not for him for effect. Picking up that class victory. 2nd on the LMP2 overall podium was James Acklam. And also winner in that LMP2 Pro-Am in the 7. What can you say? Hats off to you, sir. Richard Simner, 2nd in Pro. Well, Nathan Willoughby, 2nd in Pro-Am. And, well, 2 Pro-Ams in the top 4. Standing stuff. Adam Ty picking up the last podium place in LMP2 Pro. Simon Bamber finishing 18th overall and 5th in class. Jason Foreman, the incident late on, unfortunately not helping him. He came out of the fight for Bamber, but he does pick up that 3rd place in LMP2 Pro-Am. Connor Craven, solid result in 20th on his debut. Danny Hugedorn, disappointed by that one with 21st and 5th in class. Daniel Pay, Barker, Marone and Pollock rounding out the LMP2 field. Then into GT3, Jacko Taylor picking up the victory there. Congratulations for Tiki Simsport. And then making it a 1-2 with Brian Davis finishing 2nd in class. Nathan Law just pipping at the end to the post. his competitor and securing that last place on the podium ahead of Casper Tunstead. Martin Tilling, see him in the chat, just said that his Fanatec Wheelblade decided he didn't want to play today and malfunctioned near the end, so I think he'll be happy with finishing 5th for Tiki Sim Sports. Casper Brockner 31st overall, while Tom Western finished 7th in GT3 Pro. Darren Sharp also for 0,000 cards. Quiet day for him, but I think he'll take that one every step away in the 777. Winner in your Pro-Am category. And there's Carl McGurk, who had some epic battles today. Sean Cranley Swatch back on the podium again. That's 2 second places in a row for him. Result I'm sure be absolutely astounded with. Kevin Daniels 36th, and Al Lever for UKSR rounding out that GT3 Pro-Am podium. Rupert Bearings, another one. I may be a bit disappointed by that one. Finishing 4th in class. Then it was Connolly, John Davis, Aston Murray, Guy Kalau, Cameron Smith, Robert Windsor, and Nathan Ansis into the retirements, with the 2 Team Potato drivers of Windsor and Anstis well down there. In fact, Windsor, we lost him on lap 27. Lap 23 for Anstis. Joe Newman, the early retirement in GTP for ProTech in the Porsche. Lost him in lap 16. Andy Jones going after a great start for the DCW driver. Lost him on lap 3. Sebas all the way back on lap 2. And Joel Dutton for Coyote Racing in the Audi did not make start. Squeeze him to the end. Right. There's our winner, Thomas Cope. And let's have a little look. See if we can drag him across. Is he sat there waiting? Yes, he is. He's well behaved. He's a good lad. Right. Let's sort this out. I'm gonna have now. God. So I need to tripped over my cable there. Yeah. Now I'm gonna remember this week to turn a light on, because remember last week, viewers, those you stuck around for the interviews. Of course, I forgot. Of course, it all caught up in the action. Of course, it goes dark at this time of night, doesn't it? Wherever you are in the world. So yeah, with it being the pitch black, not the best colouring. Well, it might look a little bit yellow due to the lighting in here, but there he is. Sat waiting. Let's move things along. Bosh that one in. There we go. We'll have a chat to our winner. There we go. We've got him in. Thomas Cope. Welcome along. I mean, congratulations. I mean, what a finish for yourself there. I was surprised by it. Were you? I'm sure you must have been.
Yeah, I am pretty surprised by it. Patrick had some really good pace. I think he had an issue coming into the pits on that final time round. So yeah, it was very close, nip and tuck, but I was catching him towards the end of that race. I kind of abandoned my original strategy, which did actually work out for someone in the end, for Austin Campbell. But yeah, I'm surprised he pulled off. But yeah, it was really close at the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, you didn't lead the lap all night long, but I think it was only literally the final lap in the end that you led. But hey, you got to be there to take them when you did. I mean, were you getting a little bit worried that Patrick Thompson might not actually stop in the end?
No, I was. I mean, as some people out there may know, Patrick was originally part of Olympus, but he's now off with Apex Academy. We've been in chat with him all night during the race, so we've sort of kept all our strategies together and in touch with each other. But I knew he needed to stop. I knew he was saving way too late in the race to start saving fuel. Plus, you could tell by the pace he was putting out as well that he was going blisteringly hot straight off the bat.
Definitely. Well, I mean, hey, congratulations. It's got to feel like a bit of redemption after last week at Portimao.
Yeah, definitely. Last week at Portimao was nothing to really look back on. So, yeah, to come and win here in Nurburgring, it's a good step for the Forwards Championship, and we'll keep moving on.
Definitely. Of course, week's time we head to Daytona, don't we? I do believe. 90-minute race as well. How are you feeling?
Feeling all right. Feeling better than I was this week. So if I can pull off a win here at Nurburgring, I'm pretty sure I can pull off a decent result. But then again, everyone else is going to be back on pace. So we'll see. It's going to be throwing a bit of a hairball in next weekend, but yeah, it's going to be good in the end.
Definitely. Well, congratulations. We'll let you go and enjoy your victory. Thomas Cope, your race victor here today for Olympus Esports. Right, let's have a bit of a move around now. Next up, we're going to head across into LMP2. And well, not now. We're going to have to, right, what we're going to do. Bit of magic here. As I, shabbily look down. This is where, folks, the whole thing of needing a producer, someone said last week, I'll tell you, it makes your life a lot easier. You go for all these fancy graphics and all that jazz, There he is. It's a bit late on, but we catch him no less. Let's get it on a nice camera angle as well for him. Because, I think he fully does. Let's get on a nice camera angle. He fully deserves it. And then you pick that one. What's going on? Have a word with yourself, Timothy. Have a word with yourself. Here he is, though. James Acklam joins us now. I mean, James, what a result. What a result. I said in the build-up that LMP2 Pro-Am is the one to watch, I think, this season, because it keeps taking the fight to pro. And, well, hey, you picked up the mantle and ran with it and delivered yet again. I mean, you may as well call you the postman. You delivered that well on it.
No, thanks, Tim. It was a sweaty race, but no, not bad. I think I got quite lucky with the traffic, with a few gaps, and then I'm not quite sure what happened to the chap in front of me, who was in second when he went in the pits, but he came out 10 seconds behind, so it was not too bad after the stops. Nice, relaxing drive to the end.
But you say relaxing. I mean, we caught a few of the onboards at times, and it seemed to get. I know Nurburgring is, as much as it is an international, it's a FIA Grade 1 track. It seems, it's definitely on the more narrower side, certainly compared to Portimao last week. It seemed like it'd be a little bit hairy during moments through the traffic. Did you feel you built so much of a lead that it didn't feel as hairy because you could take your time knowing that, okay, if I lose a bit here, then I'll probably gain a bit there, and you weren't as pressurized? Or were you still feeling a bit nervous, a bit tentative coming through that traffic?
After I got through the GT3s, the first time through the GT3s was pretty stressful, but after that, I think it ebbed and flowed quite naturally, so it wasn't too bad. There's definitely a couple of GT3s I need to apologise to for some slightly exuberant moves, but it's nothing too risky in there, and just try and make it through. If you lose a second here, you pick it up later on, so not too bad.
Definitely, and well, I mean, brilliant qualifying as well. I mean, you've got to feel, in really good place, sort of heading, thinking the season ahead. I mean, we're already technically a quarter of the way through the season already, which seems frightening to say it like that. But I mean, looking ahead, I mean, you've got to feel relatively confident to be there or thereabouts come the end of the season in terms of the championship.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. I'm normally more of a quali specialist. I was a bit worried, having done some of the officials in the week, that I was going to burn my tyres out in the race, particularly it being an hour. But I took a bit of extra care with them, having done that. So it looks good for the season. It looks really competitive. So fingers crossed.
Definitely. Well, congratulations. We'll let you go and enjoy your victory. James Acklam there, your winner. Thanks. Over in LMP2 Pro-Am. What we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of a move down through proceedings now. And I don't know how that's managed to put a great big black box there. Don't know. And also, we've picked up a different driver. Not the what I was hoping. But, okay. There he is. Picked him up. We'll drag him in now. Someone I've known an incredibly long time. Now joined by one Sean Cranley Swash. course, we all love an underdog. The Mustang, not the car to go with at the moment. I was saying in commentary, Sean, that, normally a GT3, new to the service, it's always OP. The Mustang isn't. I know you love a Ford, and when I saw it, I thought, I bet he picks that when I saw your name on the entry list. I mean, having said that, that's two second places from 2. Talk about consistency.
Yeah, well, I'm only here because the Mustang's here, to be honest. I think I said about 6 months ago that I'll only ever drive a GT3 if the Mustang turns up, and now it's turned up, I've got to drive GT3. Luckily, I've picked up a couple of podiums this year. I don't know how it lasts. The guys that finished ahead of me in both the races are just so much quicker than me. But hey, maybe I'll get used to the Mustang. Maybe there's going to be a BOP change and the Mustang will be OP for the rest of the season. Who knows?
Definitely. Fingers crossed on that one. Having said that, as I've just realised, I clicked on the car below you. So there we go. We've got the right car now on screen. Always helpful. But having said that, I mean, BOP aside or not, I mean, you're really, you're wheeling this thing really, really well. And sometimes it's not necessarily about the BOP. It's more about just how comfortable with your car you are. And you seem to be, in its current state, okay, not necessarily, on out-and-out pace for the top people, but you seem to be, one of man and machine just amalgamated together at the moment with this car.
Yeah, I'm able to put a lot of hours in the evening. I gave up on shop setups. I've been doing it myself since the Mustang came out. So I'm picking up a little bit about the quirks of the setup of the car as I go. So hopefully that'll come to me later in the season.
Definitely. Well, fingers crossed for that, and hopefully your rich vein of second places continues with fruition. Oh, congratulations! Just let you go, Sean Cranley Swash there of Anti. And I don't know. Right? Okay, correct me. Right, Anstey. Is that correct?
There's 2 places called Anstey. One's called Anstey. One's called Anstey. I'm Anstey.
Oh, there you go, Anstey. There we go. I've been getting it wrong all this time. There you go. Wrap on the knuckles, for next week, Timothy. There we go. Sean Cranley Swatch of Anstey. The Ford, I'd say Sports, and the Ford Mustang. Got there in the end. I'll tell you what. We'll have a. We've had. Well, wait. No one's come along. Don't want to talk to your Uncle Tim. Sure, that makes that the best of knowledge. But talking about this race, yet again another cracker here today. What can we say? I mean, hasn't failed to deliver, has it? GT3. I said, in the build-up, a little bit worried about that, after last time. Seemed to get bullied by the prototypes. Took the fight to them today. No messing around whatsoever. And I tell you what, GT3, ironically, it was all about GTP last week. GT3, I tell you what, we had some of the greatest action there today. LMP2 as well. What a championship that's about happening to be. Pro-Ams. What's going on? Maybe a little bit of recalibration of the classes there. Pro-Ams, quite a few of the Pro-Ams better than the pros, although I'm sure James Ackland and Nathan Willoughby will want me to shut the fluff up after that one. Having said that, Koopman's dominating. Patrick Thompson's got to be gutted. I mean, dominated the race, and then to walk away with second after a poor stop. I mean, how soul-destroying is that? Nearly as bad as 2016, I think it was, when Toyota, of course, broke down just about to start the final lap at the 24 Hours of Le Mans and ended their race and had to retire. It's just, I got that sort of vibes. But, of course, that's all we've got time for, as nobody's come in. Nobody else. Yeah. Emil, to hear from you, especially if you're going to have this sort of dominant display week in, week out. LMP2 winner. Congratulations to all of our drivers and commemorations for some as well. Thank you very much for joining us. I've been Tim Cox. YouTube, Twitch, like, share, subscribe. I was going to say mute. That's not even the right word. Follow. That's the one. We got there in the end. Thank you very much. We'll be back in a week's time. Daytona, 90-minute race, not the usual 60. That means an extra 30 minutes. Pleasure for your ears of hearing my voice. Thank you very much for joining me. I've been Tim Cox. Good night. God bless. Have a great week. See you then. Goodbye.